Welcome everyone to Complete Aviation Solutions Deep Dive number 125. It is July 27th, 2025. And wow, if you've been keeping an eye on the news this weekend, you know it's been just incredibly active for aviation, seriously. From, well, cutting edge tech that's shaking up how airlines operate to these huge global recruitment drives, some pretty urgent safety concerns, and even the future of fuel itself. There's just so much to dig into. So our mission today is really to cut through all that noise. We're going to dive into a few key headlines that, really caught our attention. We'll pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights, basically offering you a shortcut to being really well informed on some crucial developments in the aviation world.
You're absolutely right. The whole sector is just buzzing with activity right now. And yeah, we've gone deep into these latest updates, trying to pull out just the essential facts and insights. We want to give you the clearest picture of what's genuinely impactful, without any of the fluff.
Okay, so let's unpack this first headline because honestly, it sounds like a real game changer. Air New Zealand. They're making waves with what they're calling a first-of-its-kind collaboration in their country, working directly with OpenAI. Now, from what I understand, this isn't just some small pilot program, right? It sounds like it's about expanding the use of artificial intelligence right across the entire airline, giving them direct access to OpenAI tech.
That's it, exactly. And that's the impressive part. What's truly fascinating here is their level of commitment. They've already deployed something they call Companion AI, which is essentially their bespoke version of ChatGPT Enterprise. And they've rolled it out to all 3,500 of their corporate team members. All of them.
3,500, wow.
Yeah, and they haven't stopped there. Get this. They've already built over 1,500 custom GPT-2s.
1,500?
1,500. To improve their internal workflows. So like you said, this isn't just about tools. It's really about fundamentally transforming how work gets done. And maybe for you, the listener, it helps to think of these custom GPTs as basically tailored AI assistants. They're built using the same underlying GPT models, but they allow a user, whether that's a developer, a team, or the whole company, to define the AI's personality, its tone, give it specialized knowledge, and even securely integrate their own private data, all without needing, advanced coding skills.
Wow, 1,500 custom GPTs already built. That's a huge undertaking. So what does this actually look like in practice for an airline day-to-day? Like, what kinds of problems are they actually trying to solve with all this AI power?
Right. It's all about the practical application. So beyond just smoothing out those internal workflows, they're using AI to enhance customer self-service. Think about making it easier for you to manage your bookings or get quick answers to questions. Critically, it's also about enabling safe and responsible integrated planning for airline maintenance and operations. Imagine AI helping predict when a part might fail or optimizing maintenance schedules. That's huge.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's empowering employees, right? Helping them make more informed operational decisions using data-driven insights. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, this collaboration isn't just about adopting some flashy new tech. It's about staying right at the forefront of innovation in a really competitive industry. It helps them solve problems faster and ultimately serve customers better. It really does make you wonder, doesn't it? How might AI subtly but, profoundly change your next travel experience? From booking right through to stepping off the plane.
That's a great question. A really good way to think about it. And speaking of the future of travel, it's not just about tech, is it? It's also about people. Massive numbers of people. Emirates, they're making headlines with this, astounding global talent drive. This isn't just a small hiring spree. They're looking to add an incredible 17,300 professionals this year.
17,300.
Yeah, across 350 different roles.
Yeah.
And we're talking positions spanning like every single facet of their operations. Cabin crew, pilots, the obvious ones, but also engineers, customer service, IT, HR, finance, everything. And a really significant chunk of that, over 4,000 specialists, are needed specifically for Donata, their ground handling arm.
Yeah.
Cargo, catering, the works.
Right, Donata is crucial.
Exactly. And to pull this off, they're planning over 2,100 open days and recruitment events in 150 cities worldwide.
Yeah.
That's a recruitment strategy on an epic scale.
It really is. And this aggressive recruitment drive, it really needs to be seen in the broader context of Emirates' projected growth and expansion. I mean, look, they've already onboarded over 41,000 professionals just since 2022.
41,000 since 22.
Yeah, which brought their current total workforce to about 121,000 people. So this new drive, it isn't just about recovery from, past disruptions. It's a clear indicator of really robust long-term confidence. Confidence in continuing continued global connectivity, and, well, it's a massive bet on growing demand for air travel, especially from emerging markets. It's a clear signal, I think, that the industry isn't just back, but it's aggressively expanding.
That's a really powerful statement about the industry's health right now. So is this mostly about filling general roles across the board, or are we seeing specific route expansions driving some of this hiring push?
It's a bit of both, but the expansion part is very tangible. You can point to specific examples. For instance, Emirates is introducing a third daily flight to Mauritius. That starts December 1st, and they'll be using a Boeing 777 for it. Now, this new service, it complements their existing 2 daily A380 services, which are already huge planes, obviously.
Right, 2 A380s already.
Exactly. So what's strategic here is that this third flight offers more convenient timings, different options for travelers, and it provides, seamless connectivity for customers coming from a really diverse range of markets: Middle East, Europe, the Americas. And crucially, it also extends connections to the Far East, places like Japan, China, Malaysia, Hong Kong, especially because they have a codeshare arrangement already in place with Air Mauritius. So it really underscores how new routes directly translate into demand for more skilled people everywhere.
That makes perfect sense. A really interesting connection there. Okay, now, shifting gears a bit here, because this next one is quite concerning. It's about safety.
Yeah.
An FAA commissioned study done by Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University has revealed some really serious findings about drone safety in U.S. airspace. The core problem: basically, hundreds of drones are operating illegally. They're exceeding authorized altitude limits, flying way too close to airports.
Not good.
Not good at all. The numbers are frankly startling. Out of just over 6,000 flights they observed with altitude data, more than 350 went over the FAA's standard 400-foot ceiling for routine drone flights. And get this, an alarming 781 of those reached 500 feet or even higher.
500 feet.
Yeah. The study estimated that roughly 10%, one-tenth of the total observed drone flying time took place in airspace that's traditionally used by manned aircraft. They also noted, interestingly, that most of these flights above 500 feet were likely recreational, just people flying for fun, presumably unaware.
Well, aware or not, this presents a significant and, frankly, immediate safety challenge. The elevated risk of mid-air collisions with manned aircraft is just crystal clear, especially near heliports. Think about it. Heliports are often in urban areas, right? And critically, they're typically not marked on standard aeronautical charts.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it makes them potential blind spots for drone operators who might not even know they're there. The study even detected some drone flights within half a nautical mile of heliports. That is incredibly close, given how low helicopters fly, especially on approach or departure.
Half a mile. Wow.
And what's perhaps even more concerning are the limitations of our current tracking systems. Remote identification, or remote ID, which is supposed to help track drones' its detection, is only effective within a pretty limited range. So many drone flights, therefore, just go unrecorded because there isn't a centralized real-time tracking system for all drone operations. This strongly suggests that the problem, this illegal and unsafe drone activity, could actually be far more widespread than even this study indicates.
That's a really sobering thought.
Yeah.
That we might only be seeing the tip of the iceberg. So given this increasing risk, what steps are being recommended? What can actually be done?
Well, the researchers offered several key recommendations to try and mitigate these risks. Sensible stuff, really. They suggested incorporating heliport locations into aviation charts, so everyone flying, manned or unmanned, is aware of them. Makes sense. Broadcasting drone alerts directly to manned aircraft in the vicinity. Updating FAA guidance on collision avoidance, specifically addressing drones. And including drone safety training, maybe more robustly, through the FAA Wings program for pilots.
Okay, practical steps.
Yeah, but the critical question this all raises is, how do we balance this rapid expansion of drone use? I mean, they're useful for inspections, emergency response, package delivery, all sorts of things. How do we balance that innovation with the absolute critical need for airspace safety and clear, enforceable regulations? It's a really complex tightrope walk, isn't it? Making sure innovation doesn't outpace the safety protocols we need.
That balance between innovation and safety. Yeah, it's certainly a recurring challenge, especially in aviation. But speaking of innovation, let's pivot to something genuinely exciting on the environmental front now. Researchers at UNSW, that's the University of New South Wales in Australia, they're making fantastic progress. They're scaling up a next-generation electrolyzer system, specifically designed to produce sustainable aviation fuel, or JCF.
Ah, the CCF. Always a hot topic.
Exactly. And the process sounds quite ingenious. It essentially converts carbon dioxide and water into precursors, which can then be transformed into green fuel using renewable energy sources. And the funding behind this is pretty significant. They've secured a $1.2 million grant from something called the Trace Lab to Market Fund, which has then been boosted to a total of $4.2 million by industry partners, the AIM, a critical breakthrough in cutting aviation emissions.
And this research is incredibly crucial. I mean, let's be honest, decarbonizing aviation is one of the toughest challenges we face in the whole race to net zero. Unlike cars or homes, planes just can't easily switch to electrification, not with current battery tech anyway. And the sector, while it's vital for global connectivity, accounts for what, about 2-3% of global emissions? And it's growing fast.
Right.
Current SAF solutions, while they're promising, are often very expensive and quite energy intensive to produce, which makes widespread adoption difficult. So this technology developed by the UNSW team, it uses a special CO2 electrolyzer with apparently low-cost transition metal and carbon catalysts. And this system can then be integrated with the well-established Fischer-Tropsch process.
Okay, Fischer-Tropsch.
Yeah, it's a method that's been around a long time, used to convert various feedstocks like coal or gas into liquid fuels. Here, they're adapting it to create sustainable aviation fuel from CO2 and water precursors.
So this isn't just theoretical lab stuff. It's really about real-world application then.
Yeah.
What kind of impact could this specific technology actually have?
Precisely. The impact here is potentially transformative. The goal is to convert CO2 directly into usable fuels without requiring costly changes to existing aviation infrastructure like airports or the planes themselves. That's key. This significant grant funding will help move the technology from what they call TRL-4, that's Technology Readiness Level 4, basically a lab proof of concept, up to TRL-6, which is a validated prototype working in a relevant environment. That's a big leap towards commercial viability.
Okay, getting closer to reality.
Getting much closer. Furthermore, this research holds a really strategic opportunity, particularly for Australia, where it's being done. Australia faces some critical fuel security challenges. I read they currently hold only about 48 days of fuel reserves. That's way below the international standard, which is typically 90 days.
Only 48 days. Wow.
Yeah, it makes the country quite vulnerable to global supply disruptions, something we've seen highlighted by recent geopolitical crises, right? So a project like this could seriously bolster their national security by providing a pathway to a sustainable and self-sufficient fuel solution. So, beyond just cutting emissions, which is obviously vital, widespread SAF production could unlock crucial strategic benefits for nations everywhere, bolstering energy independence, creating new domestic industries, mitigating vulnerability to volatile fossil fuel markets. It really becomes about security as much as it is about sustainability.
Those are truly profound implications to consider, far beyond just the environmental angle. So as we start to wrap up this deep dive, we've journeyed through some incredibly diverse, really dynamic headlines shaping the aviation world right now. From, the accelerating role of AI transforming how airlines operate and the massive industry growth paired with these huge recruitment drives, to the urgent need to address drone safety in our skies and these exciting innovations in sustainable aviation fuel. It's just crystal clear that aviation is a sector in constant, rapid evolution. Staying informed about these developments isn't just interesting, it feels absolutely essential.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we connect all these threads, pull back to see the bigger picture, it's clear that these seemingly disparate headlines, digital transformations, safety regs, green innovation, they're all deeply interconnected. They're not happening in isolation. They are collectively shaping the future of air travel and, by extension, our world. So maybe as you reflect on what we've discussed today, here's a thought to leave you with. What will be the next major breakthrough or maybe the next unexpected challenge that comes along to redefine our skies and how we navigate them?
The future of aviation is genuinely unfolding right before our eyes, and it's going to be a fascinating journey to watch.